Hey everybody, welcome back. Another Gravity Ace dev stream is starting. Hi everybody, good morning. Stand-up meetings at 10. Yeah, you know what? I have one at 8:30, so it's going to be a short one today. About an hour, but doing great. I actually woke up this morning and I thought, oh, it's Saturday. I can do whatever I want. Hey. So, yeah, that's fine. It's fine. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do today, but let me show you what I've done. You remember last time we were looking at how to make those reflective walls look a little nicer. So here they are. Oh! So there they are. This is how the shader ended up. Pretty nice, I think. I think it's subtle enough, you know, that you can still see the texture of the walls and everything. But it's also not subtle at all. Hard to ignore. You can definitely see there's a difference. It's reactive to where the camera is on the screen, not with the player. So as you move around the mouse, it changes. As the view changes, as the player moves, it changes. It's pretty cool. And then I added a little sound effect when you hit it. So let me show you the shader. Here's the old shader. Let's see. Shape. Where the heck? Oh. So if I make it reflective, right, you can see the reflection stuff going on there. So there's a texture for the reflection, and then there's a noise texture as well here. The noise texture is just generated open simplex noise, pretty simple. And the reflective texture is something I drew. And I think we did most of this last time. The only changes I made were I added in this, or I get the noise texture, and I multiply it by 3 so that it shrinks down a bit. By increasing the size of the UV, you effectively decrease the texture. Because yeah. By making the UV bigger, it compresses the texture smaller by a factor of that, by the same factor. And then it uses that noise to offset the reflection UV. So it takes that noise color and just scales it by 0.2, so it's not, so it retains some of this shape, and it modifies the UVs of the reflection, and then gets the actual reflection texture and combines them all together. And it took a little while to get the right parameters for the noise and the right shape for this. But so it's just a lot of redrawing this and changing the parameters of this until it looked, kind of nice the way I wanted it to look. Pretty simple, actually. I mean, it's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lines of math. 8 lines of math. And several hours of tweaking the parameters to get this effect. So you see those diagonal stripes, right? And they're kind of just fuzzy on the edge. And the reason they're only fuzzy on the edge is because of that, that 0.2. If this was like a 1.0, they'd be much more swirly. Yeah, you see that? So it becomes much more swirly and wavy, which is fine too, you know, it's just preference. Turn it off completely. So this is without the noise, right? A little bit of noise, even more noise. This is the transparency. So this is more opaque. This is less opaque. What else did I do in here? This is just based on the camera position, so how much the camera moves changes the UV. And oh yeah, you can change the size, the scale, right? So if I change this to 1, the noise UV gets much bigger. If I change it to like 0.1, it gets even bigger. So it ends up having less of an effect because the noise is spread out over a much bigger area. But you can go the opposite direction, make it smaller, right? A little bigger. A little bigger, right? So you just play with these numbers until it looks the way you want it to look. In fact, I was messing around with having it move with time. Ended up just scaling it by a factor of 0, so time doesn't have any effect on the UVs. So they only move when the camera moves, which is good. That was what I wanted anyway at the end. So yeah, it was fun. Oh, and then some code. Let's look at some code real quick. I want to show you guys what I did here. So my bullets were tunneling with all this bouncing around. Let me turn this off first so we can see what we're dealing with here. So the tunneling was actually pretty bad, and I looked it up, and it turns out the continuous collision detection in Godot does not work, like at all. So you see it tunneling through there? And it's not bad. I mean, it doesn't really bother me that much. It bugs me a little bit, obviously. So what I did was I tried a bunch of different methods to fix that. And I tried ray casting. I tried, adding some extra nodes here for areas, detecting walls a little faster, a little ray cast node. Tried a bunch of different things. None of them really worked very well. So what I did instead, what I ended up on was creating this health parameter for the bullets. And the health is a float, and it starts at 1.0. And when it hits something, it subtracts 0.8 from the health. Not 100%, but 80% of the health. And if the health gets less than 0, it destroys itself. So if it hits 2 walls in very rapid succession, it disappears. So if it tunnels into a wall, that's what would happen. It would start hitting the wall repeatedly, very, very quickly, and it would die. So it still tunnels, but you can't see it. It just disappears. But then if it doesn't hit a wall, the health starts regenerating back up to 1. So this, if the time between bounces is high enough, then the health will regenerate and it'll just keep bouncing. So if it bounces correctly, it'll keep bouncing. And if it doesn't bounce correctly and starts tunneling, it'll destroy itself. Ended up, all I needed was just a little bit of math. This math here. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines, right? And that solved the tunneling problem mostly. So now You can still see it start to tunnel, right? But then the bullet just gets destroyed before it gets too far. And you still have plenty of bounces. God, and this sound effect, I probably spent 3 or 4 hours on just tweaking the sound. I wanted something kind of musical, but not too musical. I think that's a nice compromise. And all these other sounds from just hitting regular walls still play underneath that. All right, so that's that. Yeah. I think, so I looked up continuous collision detection bug in Godot. And let me see if I can find it. Continuous collision detection. This is an old bug. And it looks like, look, it's from 2017. It looks like the official stance is they're going to fix it in 4.0. But it's not yet fixed in 4.0. I haven't looked into it yet. I think, yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Which is fine. You guys think 4.0 will come out this year? Would test move work? I'm guessing test move is a method on, whoops, yeah, on a kinematic body. So it would not work because my bullets are rigid bodies. They're not kinematic bodies. One of the solutions I tried was, doing what this should do. So what this should do is just cast a ray here. It should do this. Whoops, 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 whoops. Wrong one. So when you click this continuous collision cast ray, it should do this, right? And just check this every frame and see, does it collide? And if it does, then adjust this thing's position next frame so that it hits right there. And I tried doing that manually in code, and it was a pain, and it didn't really work. I was probably doing it wrong. I don't know. Anyway, the solution I came up with works effectively just as well, I think, and visually it's the same, so I'm fine. I mean, the thing with this continuous collision detection thing is it's got other bugs in it. And one of the bugs seems to be that the collision normal is wrong. So when you turn it on, it actually reflects wrong as well. And you get some weird artifacts and side effects, like sometimes the bullets will just slow down. See that? That happens with the CCD on. There's something, it's just completely broken. And it still doesn't work. I mean, it's still, look at that. Just weird. Anyway, I'm fine with not. There's always a workaround. What's the to-do tab on the bottom? So I have this add-on installed. To-do manager. Who made this? I think I got it. I must have gotten it from the Asset Lab. Nope. Nope. To-do manager by Peter de Vroom. Maybe he made it very quickly. Peter de Vroom. That's what it does. This doesn't work. I don't know why. You can change your colors and the different patterns it looks for and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. All right. So what am I going to do today? I have no idea what time it is. 6:43. I was going to work on some sound effects, but I find working on sound effects is pretty boring to watch. Excuse me. When I work on sound effects, it's just a bunch of, pushing play over and over and over again. It's just boring. Let's try and fix another bug. Bias rock collisions in player's favor. Asteroids and dead drones can destroy fuel stations. That's good. I like the ability to pick up an asteroid with the tractor beam and hurl it at a turret, but I don't like the problem where an asteroid appears in front of you and you hit it accidentally and it destroys a fuel station. The difference is intent. In one case, the player intends to destroy the turret, and in the other case, it's an accident. This needs to be recoded to take player intent into account. Asteroids should only destroy fuel stations if that's what the player intended to happen. So, how do you understand player intent? Because there's two ways the player can intend to use an asteroid to destroy something. He can ram it, or she can grab it with the tractor beam and throw it. And also in either case, the ramming might be an accident or it might be on purpose, or the tractor beam might be an accident or it might be on purpose. I think if you have tractor beamed a asteroid, we say that's on purpose. Yeah. And if you release an asteroid from the tractor beam and that could be an accident. Maybe it depends on how long you've been holding it. If you've been dragging around an asteroid for a while, then we assume it's on purpose. Now, this gets weird because now a player might be messing around with stuff and just not understand what the rules are. And if they don't understand what the rules are for when an asteroid would destroy something, then they won't understand why it's happening. And because sometimes things would get destroyed and sometimes they wouldn't. And you wouldn't want to make it, you could make it super consistent by just saying if you touch it with a tractor beam, then that asteroid destroys things. And if you don't touch it with the tractor beam, it doesn't destroy things. But that's weird because now you can just sort of nerf all the asteroids around you by just touching them with the tractor beam. Yeah, that's a little weird. What if I just changed it so that the accidents happen less frequently? Maybe asteroids can't hurt things. Maybe asteroids can't hurt things for the first few seconds that they spawn in. That might work, because this accident happens a lot. You're flying through space, and then one appears in front of you, and then you hit it, and it's destroyed. It destroys something. So what I would do is say, asteroids, yeah, they interact with the player. So what I would do is say, if an asteroid spawns in, and within a second or two, if it hits a player, then it won't do any damage. But if it spawns in and within a second or two it doesn't hit the player, then it's live ammo. Yeah, let's try that. So we need a variable. Can hurt things, false. And here I want to say, if can hurt things, and I have an or in there. I have an or in there, so I need to put some parentheses. This thing's getting long. Let's put it here. So this line says, if it's moving fast enough, then it hurts things. It hurts itself, which effectively destroys itself, and it, if the thing it's hitting can take damage. Oh, you know what? I can put it here. That makes sense. So here it says, if the body that it's hitting has a hurt method, then hurt it. With a lot, destroy it. But only if it can hurt things. What is collision layer bit 3? Enemy bullets. Okay. No. Is it enemy bullets? It's 0, 1, 2, 3. It's enemies. So if it hits a static body, which are all the enemies, or if it hits a rigid body and that rigid body is an enemy, and its linear velocity is greater than its damage speed, it's moving fast enough, then kill itself. That'll always happen. And if it can hurt things, and that body is hurtable, then hurt it. So now I just need to change this variable. Hey, Mr. Cheese. Thank you. I make cool things and I should feel cool. I will take that under advisement. Thank you, sir. Valiant Cheese makes cool things. I'm sure you guys all know Valiant. Valiant makes a cool game. Trying to find the link to it. Mr. Cheeseness. How come I can't find the link to the game? Can you post a link, Cheese? There it is. I found it. Cheese makes a cool game called Hive Time. You should go check it out. It's actually a lot of fun. I keep meaning to do a play of it, but I just haven't had the time. Sorry, but it's a fun game. It's a colony. I don't know, how would you describe it? It's like a city builder type game, but it's a beehive. Pretty cool. It's very relaxing to play, actually. The soundtrack's very nice. It's very funny to play. Yeah. It's definitely not very cumbersome to play. Some management sims can get very complicated with all those sliders and charts and graphs and stuff you have to look at, and, you know, can become a slog. Hive Time just, you know, it's not. Anyway. Yeah, fun game. Go check it out. Does it still pay what you want? And it's pretty to look at, and it's made in Godot, and it's got really cool Twitch integration as well, where you have people in your chat become bees and they can talk to you through the game. It's very cute. All right, so the asteroids spawn in. It starts an animation player. Here's the fade in, which takes 3 seconds. Okay, so this fade in takes 3 seconds, right there. And yeah. Okay, so I think I want a timer. There is a timer here. What is this timer used for? On timer timeout, visibility notifier is on screen. If it's not on screen, die. This is a 1 second timer? Oh no, it checks every second. So this is an auto start repeating timer that just checks every second. Am I on screen? If I'm not on the screen, then die. Okay. I'm going to rename this. Ooh, I'm refactoring. I'm refactoring because now I have 2 timers. Let's call this a death timer. Or let's call it a death timer. And then we'll disconnect the signal. And we'll call this death timer. And then we'll reconnect it. And because of the way it tries to change the name to match this, it'll just reconnect with this because I renamed this to be the same. And I think that's the only reference I have to it, yeah. So now I can call this one my can hurt timer. Pay what you want. Oh, cool. Oh, man. It must be nice to move on to another project. I actually have another project I've started. I'll show it to you guys next time. Maybe tomorrow. Well, next time. Whenever next time is, I'll show you guys. It's a 3D project, actually. Yeah, man. I mean, I know that software is never done. That's just the truth about software. Like art. Art is never finished. You just stop working on it. And software is never done either. You just abandon it at some point. And hopefully you abandon it at a place where everybody's happy, you know, instead of before you release it or whatever. I'm not quite at the stage where I would be happy to abandon this yet, so here I am still working on it. But at some point, one day, I'll move on. All right, so this hurt timer, I'm going to have it last 4 seconds. It's going to be a one shot. It's going to start automatically when the scene starts. And when it times out, it's going to say, can hurt things is true. Okay. That's one of my triggers. Can hurt things equals true, but I also want to, if the player grabs it with the tractor beam, then it can hurt things as well. I don't have to wait that 4 seconds. And to do that, my ship's tractor beam calls a method. What's it called? Attach to player. So whenever it attaches to something, it checks if the object it's attaching to has this method. And if it does, it calls it. So it gives every method, or every object that is tractor beamable, like asteroids are beamable, right? It's part of this beamable group. Anything beamable in this group can be beamed by the tractor beam. So that's nice. I just add beamable and you can tractor beam it now. So when the tractor beam attaches to the object, it calls that method. So I can just add that method to my asteroid. If it's not already here, it's not. So I can say attach to player, like that. So when this hurt timer times out, which will be 4 seconds after it spawns in, or as soon as the player beams it, then it can hurt things, and this will take effect. Yeah, I think that'll work. Let's put a comment here. This flag controls if the asteroids can hurt things. I added this to mitigate accidentally bumping asteroids when they spawn in and destroying things like fuel stations by mistake. This happens if the player beams it. This happens when the hurt timer times out. Actually, I don't need that one. That one's pretty obvious. This one, I might forget what this is, so comment. All right. Now, how do we test this? How do we test this? Let's see. You always have to have some land, because if you don't, it thinks you've left the combat area. So I add a wall. And then this will leave plenty of space for asteroids. And then I can say, here's how I can test it. If can hurt things. Ouch. Else. Safe. All right. Let's try it. And let's show the output. There's the output. So I had 2 ouches there. Oh, that would have been a perfect one. I dodged it. So this one should be an ouch. Ouch. That's an ouch. Man, it's going to be a pain in the neck to test. I just have to wait until one appears here, and then I ram it. Or, you know what I could do? I could change the timer, this hurt timer, to be like 40 seconds. So now I have 40 seconds for it to be an ouch. So this should be safe. Safe! So that one wouldn't have destroyed anything. Safe, 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 safe. But now this one should be an ouch because I beamed it. Ouch. Alright. So that works. 4 seconds I think is long enough because it takes 3 seconds for it to fade in. Yeah, it takes 3 seconds for it to fade in. Then there's a second of buffer. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's plenty of time to see it and dodge it. It at least gives you some warning, right? You have 4 seconds where it's safe if you hit it. That gives you 4 seconds to do something about it. You could beam it. You could try and... Well, you can't dodge it. Because the problem is that players would be flying towards it and they hit it while it's coming in, right? So that gives it... That gives you 4 seconds for it to... Oh, you know what I should do? If you hit it while it's in the... While the timer is still running, then I should extend the timer. Yeah. If not can hurt things. Me talk pretty one day. If not can hurt things, then hurt timer dot wait time. Just add another 10 seconds to it. So if you hit one that's nerfed, then give it another 10 seconds. Is wait time the right thing? Time left. There's time left and there's wait time. Wait time. Wait time in seconds. Time left. What do you think the definition of this is? The time left in seconds. Returns. Oh, this one's actually okay. You cannot set this value. To change the timer's remaining time, use start. To change the timer's remaining time, use start. Start. Time. Starts the timer. Sets wait time to time. This auto resets the remaining time to wait time. Okay. Fine. Let's say hurt timer dot start 10. So if You have 4 seconds, but while it's nerfed, while it's spawning in. And if you hit it in that time, then it adds and it restarts the timer at 10 seconds. So that if you accidentally hit it in that 4-second period, then it's nerfed for another 10 seconds. So it'll fly. So say you accidentally hit it in that 4 seconds, it'll fly towards the fuel station and just bounce harmlessly. It won't bounce. It'll destroy itself and the fuel station will be fine. If you hit it after that 4 seconds, the fuel station's toast. So you've got to be careful about asteroids that are visible on the screen and have been visible on the screen. You've got to dodge them. So if you start to see one spawning in, you can try to dodge it, but you may not be able to in time. And you'll be on the edge of your seat, biting your nails, going, oh no, I hit it. But then it'll destroy itself and nothing bad happens. And you go, oh, whew, I dodged a bullet. But if you don't dodge it, and it's been 4 seconds, you saw the thing spawning in, and 4 seconds, you didn't dodge it, and you hit it after the 4 seconds, then it'll fly into the fuel station and they'll both be destroyed. Yeah, I think that works. All right, let's test that print to make sure it actually did the thing. So if I hit one of these, it should print out 10. Yeah, it does. Okay. Nice. All right. I think that should work. I believe in you too. Thanks. All right, I think this achieves in spirit what I was trying to achieve by detecting intent. I obviously can't. I mean, just thinking through this, I don't know. I think this is a good proxy for player intent, because players can learn now. The rules are when an asteroid is new, they're safe, but after they're not new, they're not safe, and from that, you can assume intent by saying, "Look, they hit one that they knew wasn't safe, so they intended to do it, or they're flying poorly." Right? Either way, it's an appropriate thing. It wasn't an accident. Or shouldn't have been an accident. I think that's as close as I can get to intent without being able to read their mind. And it achieves the goal of biasing these collisions in the player's favor, right? If the player accidentally runs into one of these asteroids now while it's just spawned in, it won't hurt anything. So that's definitely biased in the player's favor. So it achieves the goal, at least for that one case. Yeah, I think that's fine for now. Done. All right. Ooh, level design. Level 15 is a gap. Maybe you could reduce the difficulty for this level. Let's play level 15 and see what they're talking about. Oh, let's commit this first. All right, I'm going to throw that away. And I'm going to throw that away. I'm going to take these. Biased asteroid collisions in the player's favor. Let's write that in a way people will understand it better. This goes into the changelog when I release the game. When I release an update. Asteroids don't destroy other objects when they first spawn in. Asteroids are safe and won't destroy other objects when they first spawn in. Yeah, that's fine. All right. Push. $15. Area 88. That was what they were talking about. Yeah, level 15, area 88, too difficult. Let's try level 14. Look, I got an S. Let's try 14 and see the series tunnels, if this one's easier than 15. Because they're talking about a spike in difficulty here. Oh, I remember this one. Yeah. This is fun because in this one you get the reactor right away and you kind of have to escort it through the whole level. And it's a fun inversion of the normal thing of flying through the level first and then finding it. And then, I mean, this is spoilers. If you don't want to see spoilers, turn away. So then the trick here is to put it on this thing. What? Boy. Oh no! I fail at my own game. Let's try that again. Gotta go fast. I was lollygagging. Shook. Oh, I missed my throw. That would have been awesome if I'd made that. No! Get up here. That was actually stressful. As intended. No. Whoa. That was a bad bounce. Oh, poor little dude. Alright, I need you. You go there, and then you come with me. Oh, why did Peter make the gravity on this level so high? Oh, I saw it coming. I saw it coming. I did. I saw it coming. What a fool I am. It's okay. We won't get an S. At least we destroyed it, and the enemy can no longer make use of it. Alright, so here's the one that they had trouble with. Area 88, curves. Oh. So this might be the first level where you're introduced to, what do you call them? Black holes. The gravity wells. You can see the curved space that happens. Oh, so fun. All right. I think I might... I don't know. I don't think this level's actually that hard. Famous last words, right? That is kind of tricky. But I think a lot of the difficulty in this just comes from understanding the pattern of these lasers. Once you understand the pattern, it's not that hard, actually. So maybe this particular player was frustrated by this pattern, or didn't recognize the pattern, or something along those lines. There's the green arrow to the reactor. Maybe it's this tricky flying area here. Tunnels get very narrow. Oh man. Oof. No! Maybe it is difficult. Alright, that deserves another playthrough. Hold on. I'm gonna try that one again. So one trick getting through here is to kind of just fall through so that you don't use a lot of fuel. It is possible to destroy those guys a little faster so you get a bonus. Watch out for these lasers. Whoa, 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 whoa. Key on my keyboard was sticking. Alright, I'm gonna try not to blow up the reactor this time. Get. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that was too bad. I don't know. One person is not a trend, right? Yeah. So I do think this is the first time the gravity wells show up, or at least so many of them. And then it may be the first time they're used in combination with the lasers as well. And then learning that pattern of the lasers in this level. Like when you first go into that level, you see all these lasers everywhere and you see all these side paths. And you might explore those side paths. That could be part of the problem, is that maybe they're exploring these side paths thinking that they need to get in there. But you don't. They're red herrings. Maybe it's too many puzzles. Maybe that's where the difficulty is. Like here, you're here you're given some choices, right? And one of the choices is which way do you go? And the player might think, well, gosh, do I need to get in here? And then they must realize, no, there's nothing in there. And then that happens. And then they're like, well, maybe do I need to go this way or that way? You can kind of get into a panic. Nope, can't go that way. Oh, now I'm dead. That was too hard. This could be the thinking. I'm putting myself in the player's shoes here. So now you go, okay, well, those side paths are a waste of time. I'm not going to go in there. But then the same thing happens here. You're like, should I go in there? And you're trying to look, and like, no, I don't think so. Maybe not. I don't think so. But maybe let me go this way for unknown reasons. Yeah, it's kind of difficult. Kind of difficult. Oh, watch out. Nope. Ah, dead. I don't know. Oof. See, once you've kind of fallen out of the pattern, it's a little tricky. You gotta kind of stay in that pocket. And then again, here you're like, maybe they're like, all right, now there's more side channels. Should I just ignore them? You're looking around, and you're running out of gas, and the stress is going up. Yeah, I mean, maybe that's what's happening. There could be certain personality types where they go, I took the right fork here. Maybe I should go back and check out the other fork. Or even doing it this way. They're like, oh yeah, let me get up there. Nope. Yeah, I mean, if you're trying to do a bunch of exploration and figure out what's going on, even if in the end you do make it to the end of the level, you may be unsatisfied because you wished you could have seen what was in those other branches. And I guess you could say it's kind of missing the point that this isn't really an exploration game. It's almost a space puzzle game. Almost. I think I just need to think about this one some more. So I did look at this one. I don't know, man. I don't think it's too difficult, but I can see how a player might run into problems if they try to explore too much or don't understand the laser patterns or can't or don't have enough skill with lasers plus gravity wells by this point in the game. I don't know. I'll just have to think about that one some more, maybe. Let's put that at the bottom. Let's put that here, actually. This is effectively done. So this stuff is stuff I definitely want to do, or I'm 90% sure I want to do before I release the game out of early access. And there are 23 of those things. And then this stuff is stuff that I'm deferring. It's an idea I have, but I don't know if I want to do it. That's where that goes. This one, I actually think I'm going to remove the leaderboards. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm going to remove this feature. This may be a moot issue. Remove leaderboards. It may be something I do. Because let's be honest, there's not a lot of people playing this game. So the leaderboards aren't very competitive. So, and that's fine. I made this as a single player game anyway. And running the server is just a pain in the neck. Slacks with the gift sub. Thank you, buddy. Yeah, I think I'm going to remove leaderboards anyway. Then I don't have to run that server. Then I don't have to run... I can take out all this net code that I have in here. Yeah. Maybe for the next one we'll have leaderboards. Probably not. But I'm not going to do that right now. All right. Well, so what did we accomplish today? Rock collisions. Oh, that's interesting. Historic scores. Yeah, so, and that I can do without a server. That I could do without a server. Replace with local instead. I might. That's not a bad idea. See, this is why I stream with you guys. You guys have all the great ideas. All right. Well, like I said, I think this one's got to be a short one. I have a breakfast appointment, and I need to go take a shower. It is 7:30 a.m. here. Last 20 plays. Yeah. I do like that idea. People love stats. People love stats. Yeah, so I'm going to call it today. Thanks for joining me, everybody. Was fun, as usual, hanging out with everybody. I like that there's so many of you that hang out at this hour. Been pretty consistently getting, what there's, I don't know how many people are here now. But consistently getting quite a lot of activity at this time. And I guess it works out on the West Coast because people are not at work yet, and it works out in Europe because it's the afternoon. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, it's a great time. Anyway, so I do like doing this in the morning too, because I find that in the morning when I wake up is when it's when I have the most energy and I'm most creative. It's before I've had any coffee. I'm still kind of sleepy. I have dreams in my eyes still. Yeah, so I'm going to keep it up. Anyway, twice in 1 week. What is happening? So I'll see everybody again soon. And in the meanwhile, have a great weekend, everybody. Take it easy out there. Good luck in your game dev adventures. And yeah, see everybody soon.